Hey, so welcome back to WJWK Consultants YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you came back to see me. This is our second video, and today we're going to talk about becoming an actual entrepreneur, right? So a lot of us, or most of us, start our businesses as solopreneurs, and we're the ones out there cleaning. We're the ones building that business from the ground. So when you get to that point where you've decided that, you know what, it's time for me to go ahead and bring people to the team, you got to have a plan. Okay. So, are you planning to build a team, or do you plan to be a one-man band forever? If growing your business is the plan, then you definitely have to incorporate a team. And I know sometimes the thought of bringing others into our businesses, or what we call our babies, can be very scary, right? It's a very anxious time. It's an uncertain time, right? So you're kind of asking yourself, well, what are my clients going to think? How are they going to respond? What if I don't find somebody that cleans like I do? What if my clients don't agree with me bringing other people into their home, right? Those are things that you cannot worry about. Those are called your limiting beliefs, and the reason that they're there is to keep you from pursuing your goals, right? So those limiting beliefs, they do exactly what they're intended to do, to keep you limited in your mindset and what you actually can achieve, right? So if you telling yourself that, hey, my clients are not going to be receptive to me bringing on employees to my business, then guess what? They're not going to be receptive of you bringing new people into their homes. If you say, hey, I'm never going to find anybody that can clean like me, or people aren't going to be as meticulous as I am, then guess what? You probably need to review your policies and your training manuals and how you are teaching them the process, right? So what's your system for training those people, right? So again, that's called your limiting beliefs. The most important thing that I can tell you when you get ready to hire is that you must plan. We plan everything else. We plan vacations, we plan birthday parties, we plan when we're going to move, we plan when we're going to make a career change, right? So there's no difference in planning to hire, or is no difference in when you decide it's time to bring on additional help into your business. So with that being said, it's three things that I need you to make sure that you have in place prior to you bringing on those new hires. And first is financials. It's a lot that goes into bringing in a new hire, but understanding the cost of bringing on that additional person, and then understanding how to maximize your capacity. Okay. So when I say maximize your capacity, let's just assume that you are a solo cleaner and you've decided that your business is not going to operate on the weekends. So you operate your business Monday through Friday. And again, as a solo cleaner, you should be putting those systems in place, which means that you can't clean every day. So we're going to assume that you clean 4 days out of the week. Okay. With that being said, now you've maximized your capacity. Let's assume you're cleaning 2 to 3 houses a day, right? And you're cleaning 4 days a week. You don't have any room to bring on any more clients. So we've determined that it's time to bring on that new employee. You've done your recruiting. You've attracted those great new hires. So now you're ready, right? What's your capacity going to be once you bring that new hire on, right? How many more houses are you going to be able to serve based off of your current clientele? So based off of the productivity or the business that you're doing, if I bring another person into the business, how many more houses am I going to be able to clean? How much more revenue can I expect to retain? What will be my new profit margin, right? How much money can I expect the company to profit with this additional person? So now you got to think, you bring on a new person, that new person, they can actually work on that Friday. Why? Because that Friday is your admin day. So they can actually become a solo cleaner on that day. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you guys operate as a team. Okay. So you are now building up that additional person to eventually take your place. So you grow in steps, right? You grow in phases. As you create the processes, it allows it to be easier to grow. Why? Because you're able to make those decisions. You know exactly the plan for your business and you're tracking everything. So you know, based off of statistics, off the trends, off of what your business does normally, how it should grow. Okay. So making sure that you understand that with this new employee, there are going to be additional cost. Okay. So what you have to remember is that right now, bringing on this new person, you haven't secured any new clients. Okay. Maybe you have clients that are waiting in the pipeline because they want to they want you to render services. However, you haven't secured those clients yet, right? So you have to base how much you're paying your new hire off of what you currently have. So off of your current capacity, right? With that being said, what are your expenses? How much do you have to actually pay that employee if you don't secure any more clients, right? So as your business continues to grow and you add more clients, then you're able to recalculate that figure. Okay, of actually what that employee, what your gross revenue is, what your profit margin is. Okay, so you'll be able to actually figure out your gross, your net, your profit. Okay, so first is making sure that we understand the cost of every new hire, and then understanding how much more increased or how much will your capacity increase with that potential new hire. Okay. Next is, before you start to hire, I need you to take some development classes, okay? Some leadership classes. Let me tell you something. Improved communication is going to help you to not only motivate your employees, but inspire them to become better, okay? You're going to be better equipped to handle challenges. A lot of times we think it's easy just to hire and I bring people on. What about when your business has 5 employees, okay? And 5 employees is a fairly nice size company, okay? You have a large capacity with 5 employees, but that's 5 different people, 5 different attitudes, 5 different work ethics, 5 different morals, right? Moral standards. So how do you lead? Because now you're not a manager. You don't manage people. You lead them, motivate them, and inspire them. So a lot of times us as individuals, when we take on the role as becoming the employer, we need to learn how to develop our leadership skills, understanding what your strengths and your weaknesses are, right? Making sure that you understand how to effectively communicate, okay? Leading others is a very challenging job, and most of us are not developed enough to lead effectively. So if you want to grow your business to that high 6-figure, to that 7-figure business, then guess what? Your leadership skills are going to be essential to your growth. The larger you grow, the more people that you're going to have to interact with, the more people that you're going to have to delegate tasks to, right? And even within your delegation, there requires a certain level of leadership, right? Although you may be outsourcing things, you still need to be able to be a leader to convey what it is that you want to achieve. What is your goal, right? So making sure that you develop and understand your leadership and your leadership style. Okay. There are several different types of leadership styles. So what type of leader are you? And is the type of leader that you are, or the traits that you represent, are they going to be received in a positive or negative manner, right? A lot of times it's just the way that you say things. Okay. So making sure that you've developed those skills is going to be key from moving from that solopreneur to that entrepreneur, right? Where you're creating a business, and a business is an organization with a set of systems that allows it to run on its own, okay? So you're going to create these systems and you're going to put the people in place to run the systems, but you will lead the people. Okay, so making sure that you develop your leadership skills. And I'll tell you that when I brought my first employee on, I was very new in my business. Okay. So I had been running my business. I was running my business as a solopreneur for about 4 years. So you have to remember when I started my business, I was 22 years old. I was very young, right? I didn't have any children. I was attending college at night. And yeah, I made good money, right? But the good thing is that I made the money. Spent the money, made the mistakes, and learned from them all, right? But the thing I didn't learn was how to develop my leadership skills. Okay, so I brought on my first employee, Tiffany, and I'll never forget her. She was my right hand girl, y'all. We was out here killing the land, right? But I didn't know how to treat her. I didn't know how to talk to her. I didn't know how to respect her. I grew up in a angry, I guess you can say hostile type situation. It was from my grandfather. And I think a lot of those bad habits or his style of communication kind of rubbed off on me, and I didn't know how to treat those people that I needed the most, right? We had a great relationship, but it was like, and I remember, I'll never forget, Tiffany said to me, she was like, when we in the car, when we drive into our next client, when we would go out sometimes, maybe to have a lunch or something like that, she was like, you a totally different person, but when we get in these houses, you turn into like Evelyn. She was like, you so mean. And it wasn't that, it was just, now we working, right? But I didn't know how to communicate when maybe something was messed up or something was wrong, right? I was very angry. It was like, why can't you get it right? And the way that I communicated with her was very, it kind of broke her spirit, right? But I paid her very well. She didn't have a car, so I picked her up every day and dropped her son off at daycare before we started working. So it was like I did a lot for her. So she was appreciative and she truly loved me. But it was just when we went into those houses and it was time for me to be the leader, I didn't know how to do that, right? So it wasn't until I started losing really good people in my organization because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to effectively convey my message, right? So when I tell you your leadership styles are going to be crucial to your success of your company, I can't stress that enough, okay? So if your goal is to grow a team, which is going to be definitely necessary to grow your business, right? Go get those leaderships. Go take those leadership classes now. Okay. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself and for your business. Okay. Then lastly, I told you I was giving you 3 points, right? So first we talked about understanding your cost and understanding what your increased capacity will be with every new hire. Then we talked about developing and understanding your leadership skills and your style. And now we're going to talk about notifying those clients, right? Because I can definitely guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of pushback, okay? Especially if you've been doing it for some years and you've built up that personal relationship with your clients. It's going to be challenging and it's going to give you some restless nights. It's going to cause you some anxiety. It's going to be a lot of them that's not going to want to go, right? So your job is to make sure that your client understands what your growth plan is, okay? So this is key, especially for your new clients that you're going to be bringing in, because as you're growing, they need to understand that you're going to be bringing more and more people into the organization. Eventually, they'll have their own team, but that might be 6 months down the line. That might be a year down the line. As you're growing, you're going to be having training in place. You're going to be moving trainers up to team leaders, right? So it's a whole plan. So making sure that your current clients are informed about your plan, and then your new clients, they know about your growth plan, right? So the old clients, you bringing them on board to get them ready for this transition, right? The new people, they're going to be a part of the transition. So your goal now is to make sure that they understand what's going to be taking place, right? So we're in a transition and we're going to be continuing to grow. However, we will continue to provide the same consistent quality service that you've been receiving. So you want to talk about how you're going to hire, what's going to be the ways that you're going to attract your clients, attract your employees. What type of employees are you looking for? What's going to be your training program? And then how do you plan to introduce them to your clients, right? So listen, this is all literally part of your growth strategy. Okay. So as you prepare to grow, you need to make sure that you have the steps in place so that everything transitions smoothly, right? Because it's very scary going from being that solopreneur to that entrepreneur where now you're leading teams, right? Where other people are dependent on you for to take care of their families, right? So when you able to provide somebody that full-time job and they take it home $600, $700, $800 a week, based depending on what their hourly pay is. Some people a little bit less, right? But as you grow, you're able to pay more, especially to those cleaners that are proficient, right? Them cleaners that work with a spirit of excellence, that's considerate of the time, right? That are actually overproducers, but still get it done in the allocated amount of time. You definitely want to pay them more. Why? Because they're going to make sure that the client remains satisfied. Okay. So first we want to make sure that we are understanding our cost for every new hire. We want to understand what's our increased capacity going to be. Okay. How much more am I going to bring in with every new hire? How much more work can we take on? What's going to be our increased revenue? Okay. You want to develop and understand your leadership skills and your leadership style, which is going to be crucial to the success of your company. Okay. People only going to follow a strong leader. So are you a strong leader? Okay. Begin to notify your clients of your plans, making sure that they understand how you plan to hire, how you're going to train, and how you're going to introduce these people to them. Okay. You got to understand that this is a scary time for them too, because they've built up a relationship with you. So you telling them that eventually I'm not going to be here, right? It's a scary place to be in. But let me tell you, it's the most amazing place to be in. Your growth from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur is going to open up so many doors and so many opportunities. So listen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to our second lesson here at WJWK Consultants YouTube channel. Y'all, I'm silly. So definitely thank y'all for rocking with me. Make sure that you let all of the other cleaning companies that you know to come on over here, like my page, subscribe to the page, y'all, share some of my videos out. I definitely appreciate it. And I'm going to be here to continue to help you to grow your business. But if you're looking for that one-on-one coaching, definitely make sure that you visit our website at WJWKconsultants.com. Or visit us on Instagram and just click that link up there in my bio and click on work with coach, right? And I'm here for you. Again, thank you guys so much. And I'm humbled by the experience. Have an amazing day.